Hey guys, this is yours truly, Sherfit Johnson. I feel like I don't do a lot of these sit down, talking, get to know you type of videos, and I mean, why not? So here I am right now, here today. If you have not already, please subscribe to my channel here at Sherfit Johnson. Comment down below if you have any questions for me regarding myself, regarding yourself, or anything like that, your kids or whomever. Please thumbs up this video if you do enjoy it. Even if you don't, do not give me a thumbs down. Okay? So this video is going to be all about my updated life as a teacher. This is my first year actually being a teacher slash coach, and it is beyond different than what I ever expected. I was in college for 4.5 years, and when I got out, I did not expect to be teaching from home. I'm going to tell you right now, teaching from home is the weirdest thing you can ever do in life. It really feels like you're not working, to be honest with you, because you're at home. And it's also weird because it's like your home is your comfort, your home is your sanity, your home is your peace, and then you have to think about work? Work? I don't think so. But you still have to do it because you're still getting paid. So I am a physical education teacher, and I also coach. So when this first thing started, parents and my students were asking me, oh, when are we coming back to school? When are we coming back to school? Honestly, my principals, they didn't tell us. I'm pretty sure it's because they didn't know. I think they knew before we knew, but they didn't tell us what was going on in the media. Like, we literally found out with the rest of everybody else. So I had my spring break in March. I believe it was the week of like March 9th, and I went to San Antonio. I was having a good time. This is like really before COVID was like a big thing. I went to Six Flags, Fiesta, Texas, and I was having a ball. I was having a real ball. And then the following week, I get an email from my principal to all the people at my school, all the teachers, all the staff at my school, saying spring break would be extended. So it was extended for 1 week. So I'm like, okay, that ain't no problem. That ain't no problem. My family lives in Houston, so I was in Houston, like living it up, having a good time. And then the next week comes again, and they're like, there's no school. School has been closed for 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay. But this time I actually have to go to work, and I have to prepare packets for the students, all the students in the school. I have to make contact with all the kids on my roster. Like I said, I'm a PE teacher, so I have over 150 kids. I have to call them, I have to text them, I have to email them and their parents. And let me tell you, a lot of these kids don't want to be found. A lot of these parents do not want to be found. A lot of the numbers on the contact is not their numbers, because if their kid is getting in trouble at school, like, they really don't want to be called. So let me give you a little background of the school that I work at. It is very like low socioeconomic, and the parents are not firm on the kids. Honestly, they're not strict with their kids. And let me tell you how I know. I'm not just saying this because they're low socioeconomic. I'm saying it because I know, and I work there. So I tell this story to people all the time because I was honestly shooketh. I called a parent. One of my students was skipping my class. I saw that she had been to the rest of her classes. So I called her mom. I'm like, your daughter she's skipping my class. I see she's been at school all day. I'm just checking on her. And her mom said, I kid you not, her mom literally said, well, ma'am, it must be your fault that my daughter's not in your class. That means it's you why she don't want to be in your class. I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, ma'am, well, I see how this conversation is gonna go, so I'm gonna let you go. Have a good day. And I hang up, because I was not about to argue with this lady, A, and B, like, if this is how these parents want to be, then I'm gonna let them do what they do. And yes, that's just one example, but I promise you there's so many stories like if the parents are just like, it's whatever. My kid is right. You teachers are wrong. Don't call me. Whatever they say, go. And that's it. which is really unfortunate. But it literally makes me not want to call parents. Like, it really does, because I'm like, ugh, please. So anyways, we have to call these kids, etc. And like I said, a lot of them do not want to be found. The reason that we made packets for the students is because a lot of them don't have access to internet. They don't have access to laptops, computers, where they can easily view their work on the workshop called Canvas. And so we said, you know what, we're going to go ahead and make 2-week packets for these kids, and then in 2 more weeks, if we're not back in school, we'll make it again. And so after the packets were made, the teachers came in shifts because there's so many of us. And then at the time, it was a rule that no more than 50 people could be in the room at the same time. And then also, we didn't know how serious it was, and we didn't want anything to be transferred. We didn't want to get the next person sick. I don't even think at this time we were wearing masks and gloves, because we really didn't know how serious it was, but B, we were still trying to get our job done. The principals and assistant principals, they were just telling us, like, stay 6 feet apart from each other, like, don't get close to each other. When honestly, when you're sharing equipment, you're sharing copiers, you're sharing staplers, you're sharing all this stuff, it's kind of impossible. But luckily but not luckily for me, that day I ended up not going to work. I ended up doing something else for work. I had to go and visit students, meaning whoever did not answer their phones or we couldn't get a hold of them in any type of way. I had to go to their house, knock on their door, and like see if they had the right address, tell them what was going on, tell them if they needed a packet, give me an updated number, give me an updated email, who you live with, yada yada yada. I had to do that instead. And it was hot outside. It was hot. Okay? The only thing that made this thing better was that my work best friend, Miss Erin, she was there with me, so it was cool. It was cool. And then she's young too. She's 24, I'm 23. And so we were just driving around. We were having a good old time. Okay? It was a little scary in the beginning because she was like freaking out. Like I said, they live in a really poor community, and we hear about, not only do we hear about, but we've been stuck inside and shelter in place like almost every week of the school year, because it's some type of shooting, some type of gun, like some type of something always going on around our school. And like one time it was happened like right at our school, and so we was like, we don't know if we want to go around. We don't. But it was fine. It was not that bad, and we did a good job. Shout out to Miss A. But back to my life now as a teacher. It's been a month. The thing that is the most sucky and the most bummy about this whole situation is that I coached volleyball. Season went amazing. And so I was really excited to coach track because I had never coached track in my life. We had our preseason and we had one meet. So I was really excited to take my kids on an adventure, because in volleyball they were not their best, and then by the end they were amazing. Like, we won consolation, and that hadn't been done since 1997, and I was born in 1997, so that's a really long time. That's 23 years. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I was a really good coach. Like, some of the kids, like, they did not like my coaching style, but it gave us some wins, and I'm not sorry about it, because I did a really good job. So I was really looking forward to track season, and it got cut. Like, it got cut, and I was honestly so bummed out. I was so bummed out because I was just so excited to see them from day one, to see them grow so much, and I didn't get the chance to see that. Like, they're my 8th graders. I work with 8th graders, so I feel like they also got robbed of their last year. But honestly, like, we're healthy, and you know, it's like, yes, it sucks, but at the same time, we could be dead. We could have COVID, and we're not. So it's like, yeah, I have my raw emotional feelings about it, but at the same time, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. So honestly, like, right now, my job is so easy. Like after all my emotions and my feelings left my body and I realized that I'm gonna be on this journey for a long time, I realized like, do something else with your time. YouTube. I have a 3-year-old son. We're hanging out all the time. He don't go to daycare. I don't even think they're open. But even if he did, like I'm at home. I don't need no daycare. So I'm saving money. I'm saving like $440 a week. Like, come on, I can't complain about that. But so right now as a teacher, this is what my schedule basically looks like. I wake up in the morning. Honestly, I wake up in the morning when my eyes open. But I always make sure I get up like at least by like 8:45 to check my emails. So we have this, I have to check my emails, answer any emails that I have from students, parents, but really from any administration, any of my bosses. Check their emails, respond to their emails, and do it that way. But then I y'all don't be having nothing to do. On Fridays is my days that I have to reach out to my students. That's the day for electives, and I'm an elective teacher. And so every single week I have my lessons already planned for Friday. I upload them on Canvas, and I basically give them some type of lesson. I'll talk to them. We did have Zoom meetings in the beginning, but that did not work out. I probably had like 25 kids come to the Zoom meetings, and I'm telling you, I had like 150 something students. Okay, so that's not a lot. So I just started recording videos and uploading them so the kids can look at it whenever they get ready, because honestly these kids are asleep. They're sleeping. Like they are probably sleep all day and are up all night. And I mean, I get it. I was a kid once, and honestly I'm still doing that right now. Honestly I am. So on Fridays I contact them like that. I send them emails, I send them text messages. It's honestly too much to call them all on Friday. It's almost impossible. So I send texts. I send like mass text to all of the students and their parents, and I use this thing called Google Voice, so they cannot have my cell phone number, because I do not want them texting me. I do not want them having my number. So Google Voice gave me like a fake number, and they can hit me there, they can call me there whenever they want to. Regular teachers, they are allowed to contact their students every day besides Friday, and so they have the whole week to help their students learn. But honestly, like in my district, they said about 30% of the students are actually doing the work. So that's that. And right now the grading system is incomplete or complete. So we've been either giving the students pass or fail, and so if the kids have done absolutely nothing, they're failing, you know. And so it's like, are they gonna get promoted to the next school year? Because honestly, like the kids are already thinking, and the parents are already thinking, I'm in summer mode, like I'm not in school, I don't have to do this work. And if their parents don't hold them accountable, it's like they're not gonna do it. And so I have about 15 students out of 150 actually turning in work on the weekly basis, actually responding to me, actually reaching out to me, and that's insane. So I couldn't imagine being a core teacher actually trying to teach my students stuff, and they're not even paying attention. They're not even like getting it, they're not grasping it, and they're not even online actively doing the work. That's crazy. And so I'm really excited to see how this next school year is gonna go for the kids, for the seniors who didn't get their memories, like graduation, prom, all that extra stuff. Like I'm really sad for them. I am honestly, like right now, loving my life. Next school year I do want to get back to normal. I love volleyball, so I would be crushed if that was canceled. But yeah, so right now that's my life, and I'm basically a stay-at-home mom who has a little business on the side and gets paid salary. So I'm very blessed. I'm very, very blessed. If you guys have any specific questions, like if you're a student and you have a question, you're a parent and you have a question, drop it down below, because like I said, I'm a teacher and I know like the 411. And I probably missed something because I'm rambling at this point. So yeah, peace.